Some of you guys probably recognize this stuff. This is a Microtech Ultratech from 2003. I think I have a cold, or maybe I have allergies. I don't even know. This is a fire extinguisher from Rennline. We've got a black mounting bracket. This is a Halguard 2.5 pound clean agent extinguisher. Check box top for finish. Black. So I picked a clean agent. Some people say they don't extinguish quite as well as the powdered variants, but if it comes down to it, I don't want to shoot powder into the back of the engine here. So the reason for this is because running methanol now, and methanol is highly combustible, and in the worst case, you can have a methanol line break in the back of your vehicle, hit some hot part of the engine, and combust. This size of a fire extinguisher may not be sufficient to extinguish an engine fire if something went wrong. I get that, but better to have something than nothing, I think. I'm gonna put this on the passenger seat. Let's see how it works. Pressure looks good. This is a nice little extinguisher. Get this thing unwrapped here. All right, so here are the components of this Rennline kit. I'm gonna have to put this under the seat, so I'm gonna go take the seat off here and do a test fitting. This fire extinguisher holder will mount to this portion, and that portion will slide under the seat, in so much as the seat accommodates it. And then these are our instructions. So, hopefully we'll be able to figure out how to get this thing in. All the bolts here in the seat in the front have been removed. Oh my gosh! I got these bolts off. Now we're going to tilt the seat back and see how this will fit in there. The instructions are telling me to put it in this way. These slide all the way under the seat. I slide this in like that. Of course, before I install this completely, I need to assemble some of the stuff down here on this bracket. So the assembly's pretty straightforward. You have to make sure you put your washers in between here. Big washer goes in the back, small washer goes in the front, and this piece is not purely aesthetic. It's designed to help your bracket slide in to this retainer. Small nylon washer goes up here. This piece that your fire extinguisher mounts to, it's going to slide in like this. And then this red handle on this side will actually lock it into place. So we should be able to go ahead and install this piece into the car, and then we can attach the fire extinguisher clip to this piece and then slide it in, lock it into place, and we'll be all set. I'm having a problem. This bracket changes the way that the screws seats in here, and there is no way to get the right angle to screw the car seat back into the actual car body. I'm not sure how that's supposed to work. I have to imagine other people have done this before. Not easy, but I did manage to get it done. What worked best in the end was to take the chair and just kind of pull it forward and then get the screws started at the right angle. And I set the chair back, got the rails seated, and then screwed everything down. And I think it's okay. Only one little thing. I mean, so now you've got this, that bracket's pretty thick, so now there's a gap under here, but I don't think anybody's gonna notice. And we are one step closer to getting our fire extinguisher hooked up. I suggest taking a quick look under your seat to make sure there's no wiring harnesses that are gonna get snagged somewhere. If you have something hanging down, zip tie it out of the way. Do a quick test. Make sure everything moves back and forth okay. Looks good to me. One thing I think is really cool about this design is that it holds the fire extinguisher up a little bit, so it's not actually resting on your mat here, so you can still pull these out with no problem. We want our spray nozzle facing forward or toward the back. I'm gonna mount it like that. Okay, so this is going to be our mounting pattern. All right, these clips have been mounted, so now we can just go slide this in, lock it into place, and then put in the fire extinguisher. Okay, I got this put in. I'm not sure if I love the horn sticking out there. I think I'm going to remount it so the bottom's over here, and then the actual spray nozzle is down here, but facing in. Hindsight. But at least you guys get to see how it looks this way, and then how it'll look the other way. You know, in retrospect, maybe I should have gotten that custom Rennline quick release bracket. The chair here becomes the first point of contact with the base of this fire extinguisher. I just need to use 4 screws on this mounting bracket instead of 6 and sort of center it better. Okay, so I decided to center this bracket a bit better, so I just ended up using 2 screws. So what we actually want to do is get this in between here and the other one. So we want to shove it up even more toward the top. And this is where the bracket needs to go for the fire extinguisher to be centered between these 2 seat rails. But there's no holes. Don't be fooled by these. Those are not going to stay there. There's no holes where it needs to go. So I'm thinking maybe I drill some holes in the mounting bracket. I am not sure, but that is where this needs to go. So it turns out there is 1 screw in the right place. And that is this little guy right here. There's 2 more holes that come through here, but those are obviously too big. And so I'm going to put this washer on top of those, and that should allow me to mount this right where I want it. All right, this should be the final configuration. I've got a screw here, here, and here, and then on the back, I've got the 2 washers to hold it into the larger holes. So this is the absolute furthest that the bracket can go back. So in that sense, we have done our job. This part of the fire extinguisher is inside the rails. Look how tight this is. All right, now we move the chair forward a little bit. Fire extinguisher installed. Yeah, pretty happy with it. For the most part, it's hidden down there behind the seat. I don't think a passenger is going to step on it by mistake. I like that there's clearance on both sides here. This can slip under the seat, and this can slip under the seat a little bit here. So I think I found the optimal mounting configuration with the included bracket, and I don't have to spend another $275 to get their quick release, even though it looks awesome. It looks really cool. I rarely have someone in the back seat at this point, but if you have someone in the back seat, you'll have to adjust that bracket. But what's nice is you do have the option with the Rennline system. You can move that bracket forward or backward, depending on where you need your seat. So that's kind of nice. Then if you have an emergency, boom, grab, huh. Oh. Maybe it's a good idea to practice with your fire extinguisher. I think making sure your fire extinguisher is properly charged at least once a month is a good idea. Well, that's it for this time. We got that extinguisher installed. I think it looks really cool. Happy with my choice. It's pretty hidden, all things considered. Hopefully no fires, but better safe than sorry. We'll catch you next time.